All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So before I get into this video, yes, I'm grinning from ear to ear because I'm very excited. And again, I called this months ago. Many people came at my neck, especially those who claim they rock Intel or they have PCs. They're saying that, DLSS is exclusive to Intel. A lot of these dudes are now looking very, very silly because I said even in the video, I expect AMD to have their own variant of some sort going into PlayStation 5. And now we have confirmation of that, especially coming from Tom Warden of The Verge. Now again, for those of you that do not understand the gravity of DLSS, it's basically a super sampling technique, and what this allows Sony to do in the future when they do incorporate this in the games, this will allow them to pretty much not take a hit on FPS at all, and they're able to push more performance in general in games. Now again, to make this louder and clearer, let's say they had a very intensive game like Uncharted 5, for example, right? Uncharted 5 runs at 4K 30. With this type of technique, especially how they implement this, they can push 4K 60. Easy. See what I'm saying? But I don't see them doing that in general, and this goes back to where I said in that video where I said welcome to the post 4K era. In that video I said I expect games to be really pushing 1440p. Some will definitely, obviously we'll have the option for 4K, but I expect them to really probably highlight 1440p, and the reason why I expect them to do that is for the obvious reasons. If you guys go back to the Unreal Engine demo, remember they were pushing 8K textures, or they were streaming in 8K textures with the use of Sony's architecture and the inclusion of their SSD. They were able to stream in so many assets super fast that they were able to produce, the 8K textures. So they were doing that. They were pushing all these polygons on the, all these triangles on the screen, the high texture count, you name it, right? All that stuff was happening. The funny thing about it, though, when we saw that insane visual representation, all of us thought that that was 4K. And the funny thing is, it took a deep analysis video from Digital Foundry to confirm that that was 1440p. And ironically, it was running at 30 FPS. Again, game looked absolutely fantastic. They confirmed that they weren't even going all out with that, and that was an early build, and that could have easily been at 60 FPS, if not 4K, if they wanted it to be. So again, this is what I'm talking about, the gravity of this particular tech and how big it will be for console gaming, for PlayStation in general. Again, Xbox Series X, native resolutions, I keep telling you guys, man, I don't know why people are arguing this. Just let Microsoft have it. That's going to be their bells and whistles there. Native resolutions, high end, that's going to be Microsoft. They can do that easy with Series X. PS5, what you need to focus on is how games are going to be made in general. Remember how I said I/O throughput is the main buzzword that's been going around. And you can call it a buzzword because I talk about it a lot. But I/O throughput, the amount of texture being streamed in, how much assets are on screen, and how they're pushing this information so fast is the stuff that's really going to make these games pop. And with them incorporating DLSS into their actual software, into their games, it's going to make things look absolutely fantastic. Demon Souls, again, keep in mind, Demon Souls, that runs at 1440p in the performance mode, but it was running at 60, right? Game looked fantastic for what we saw, and it looks better than a lot of games on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Why do you think that is? Because they're pushing more on screen. It's a better refined picture. I said this even before we even got into the hardware reveal back in RGT. So many times I said this. I'm like, I expect more refinements in visuals. I do expect, more details, higher polygon counts, and that's what we're getting for next gen, and we're getting more information of that. But to go back into this actual article, I know a lot of you go, can you get to the article? Let's get into it. So here it is. AMD is developing a DLSS super sampling technology for PS5. Here's what they had to say. AMD has revealed to Tom Warren from The Verge that it is developing a DLSS-like super sampling technology, which will be open and cross-platform, meaning it will come to PlayStation 5. This DLSS-like super sampling technology will aim to increase performance during ray tracing scenes and graphically intensive moments. The company is working with multiple partners for the new piece of technology, which is currently in testing. This means that scenes which are incredibly graphically intensive can still run at high frame rates, despite those graphical improvements. PS5 would make use of this technology in a number of ways. For example, games could possibly run at 4K 60 FPS with ray tracing on, or at least have 4K 30 FPS performance with ray tracing on. For those titles which are particularly graphically intensive, nothing is confirmed as to how games will perform with this feature, and the product is still in testing, but its implementation in the future will be a major win for Sony, who will be able to maintain high performance later in the generation's life cycle. AMD's DLSS DLS-like super sampling technology is currently in testing. So yeah, there you guys go. They said it for the to The Verge. It is definitely happening. Again, I'm not here to lie to you guys. I'm here to tell you the truth, how it is. I'm happy for both systems. I really am, because Microsoft's giving you a beefier system. They did buy some good studios, so it's going to be interesting to see how the results are for that. But you already know where my attention really is. Everybody knows on this channel, it's PlayStation. It's kind of always been. Going into PS5, my expectations are really high. Like I'm not looking like I don't have any fear going into the system at all for what they can deliver. And again, everything from the new user experience we saw to the controller, which everybody's hyping up, it looks good. I can't wait to see what these games are going to look like in the future. And granted, we are just now scratching the surface of the consoles. We haven't even fully tapped into the hardware. Wait until you see the next game from Naughty Dog or the next God of War or everything else in the future for these games. When you see the hardware fully get tapped into, and when they eventually let DLSS be available for the games, you're going to see even better improvements in the long run, and that is definitely something to be excited for. So there you guys go. Hey, I hate to be the guy that say I told you so, but hey, this is what I do, man. I tell it how it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Definitely sound off. I will see you guys on the next one, because there's definitely a lot to go over. PlayStation is definitely killing it, and well, I have a lot of videos to make, so I'll see you guys on those. Until next time, this is Big Cloud Gaming. You guys stay tuned, and y'all be blessed. Later.